All right. Welcome back to the Shop Class Podcast. Tonight we've got a special pregame. We're going to the Catskills Maker Camp, and that is a blast. It's going to be a really good time, and there's a lot of booths, like demonstrators with a place to go where you can try out something, wood or metal, and some of the people presenting are actually on the podcast tonight. So we got our regulars, we got Duke and we got Nick. How you guys doing?
Very good.
Good, getting ready, getting psyched up.
All right. And tonight we're joined. We got our semi-regular. We got Rafi. How you doing?
Good.
Are you presenting, Rafi?
No, I wish.
Okay.
No.
We got CNC Metalcraft. We got Phil. How you doing?
I'm doing great, everyone. Good to see you.
Okay. And let's see who else is with us. We got Chad from Mancraft. How you doing?
Doing well. How you guys doing?
Chad, I have what I made with you right here
Yeah, I got one of those too. Me too.
on the
I
desk.
didn't have time to go make one.
Nick, maybe I'll stand in for you this year.
Yeah, Nick will give you some relief. Calling the relief pitchers.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Nick doesn't leave his booth, man. He is like lathing the whole time. Is that a word? Lathing? I don't know.
Yes.
Okay. And who else we got? We got Keith.
I'm good. How are you?
Keith, how you doing? Are you going to be presenting as well?
I'm not presenting, no, but I do run the Maker Swap.
He is taking your gifts.
Oh, no kidding. All right.
Yes.
Keith, I have something to tell you, a confession.
It's okay.
I didn't make anything for the Maker Swap yet.
It's fine.
Make it Friday.
No, I got to make it tomorrow. That's it. Because Friday I go to school teaching shop class, and then I'm getting in the car and I'm meeting up with Duke at the Walmart so we could ditch the
I know
Ranger.
we'll do. We'll buy one of Jimmy DiResta's kits that he sells at Walmart.
Oh, we'll put it together. We'll put it at the swap.
Great idea.
Nice. This is cool. And we got Dave Bauer. How you doing? I don't know if Dave's there. Maybe you can hear
I'm
us.
here. I forgot how to work the button. Yeah, I'm good. Thanks.
Dave, are you making something?
Yeah, I'm doing the block printing tent at Maker Camp.
Oh, that's cool. So you're gonna run like a big printer that is that a Jimmy DiResta booth?
Yeah, it's Jimmy DiResta is, I guess, the sponsor booth. Ryan Smith is going to be there with his Vandercook press, so he'll be making posters, and then I'm going to be doing like small block prints, so people will be able to do that, print those by hand.
Dude, that is so cool. So tonight I would like to go around and have people who are doing a booth just tell us about your booth, and we can kind of look at photos and explore that. It's kind of a pregame, get excited. Maybe we could talk about some other, what are you guys interested in learning, like on the schedule? Are you going to get out of your booth for a little bit and check something out? Yeah, so that'll be the shop class roundtable pregame. Let's see. So who would like to go first and talk about the booth they're presenting? I know Nick's also presenting. Nick, what are you going to do this year?
I guess I'm going first.
Well, I have one Nick's pens right here.
Oh yeah, he did the wood burning last year too.
Yes. And let's see. So Nick, what are you going to have available for us?
So again, I'm going to be doing pens, and this year it's going to be Freedom pens and personal pens. So right now I'm still making all the pen blanks and getting them ready for all the makers to turn. There's about 8 steps in the whole process, so I'm doing about 4 of them, and the makers are going to do 4 more themselves and walk home with a personal pen or send it off to the troops through the organization Freedom Pens.
That's cool. And you're literally cutting all the blanks and also drilling them and also putting the brass insert inside the middle.
Yep, and then I have to true them all so they're all correct length as well. After I put the brass tube in.
OMG. That's a
So-
lot, man.
Yep, 11 o'clock last night at school.
Oh, geez.
We're gonna have truing them up. So
And now, what kind of different wood are you using?
I have curly maple, hard maple, cherry, sapele, mahogany, some walnut, a few Purdue pens, and I think a couple Bacote and maybe some resin pens as well. Resin blanks that I've made up myself.
Okay, I got some photos of you from last year when you were doing this. Pretty cool.
Yep.
Let's see. I think this is you.
Yep, that's me.
You're going to be covered in sawdust the whole weekend.
So I'm bringing 4 of my school lathes and 1 of my personal, and then I have a couple other makers that bring their mini lathes for me. So I have 6 total lathes for people to use while I demonstrate. So I typically take about 30 minutes to 45 minutes to demonstrate the whole process on one pen, and then they go off and turn their own pen of their liking, their profile. There's no, as long as the ends of the pen blanks are to the bushing diameter, the pen will work.
Do you have, do you want me to bring anything? Do you need it? I don't know what I could bring you. What are these right here? Are these, what do
Those
I see
were
here?
acrylic blanks that I was making up, and I was turning bottle stoppers out of those. Those were antler and epoxy resin.
Okay, cool.
And then I had we had a lot of 3D printing garbage or scraps from my school, and we cast some of the garbage into blanks and turn bowls or turn pen out of that stuff as well.
That's cool. Nice. Yeah, I'm soaked. And Duke, you're going to learn a lot because you want to bring this back to your school, right?
Yeah, I got a brand new lathe, Penn State Industries, just like these guys. It's sets of tools. I got a couple kits. So instead of, filing through all the YouTube videos that aren't the greatest, I'm going right to the man himself.
Nice. There's Rafi from last year.
I don't know if you got-
Yeah. I didn't know you. I don't even think we were talking. I didn't even know who you were.
No, I didn't know you then.
That's so funny. This is really a good place for people to get connected. Like, it's unbelievable the people that are going to this. It's from around the country.
I have to tell you, I'm totally hooked.
Around the world.
Can't wait to
Yeah,
make that
man.
time.
It's awesome.
There'll be
Yeah, we're going to do it.
there's
So this is,
Laura.
I got in trouble last year. I got yelled at by the shop teacher because I made the pen look like this. And Nick was like, dude, no. And I was like, what's wrong with this? He's like, how are you going to sand in between? How are you going to do all that stuff? And I was like, oh my God. So I cleaned it up. Oh, this is later on. Are they going to do something crazy later?
This year's going to be a jackalope.
Oh, the shape of a jackalope? What's a
Yeah. So if you go on to 42 Fab's feed, he has a picture of the little rocket stove like he did with the dinosaur afterwards. He has the jackalope already made up.
Oh my God. I can't wait to see this. Where? Reels? Here? It's
Right
going
there.
to be this?
Right there. Yep.
Dude. That's going to be madness. That, but like 30 feet high or 100 feet high. Oh my God, dude. I can't wait. What is this maker camp? Like, what? It's like awesome. Are they going to have music? Do they have any bands?
I
Nah,
don't know.
it's not
I
like
think
that.
so.
It's not a music
maybe-
festival. All right.
I mean, last year I think they had 1 or 2.
They had a lone cowboy there.
local play at the bar, but
They had a lone.
Some maker's going to bring like a whole, you're going to make a guitar and then there'll be a band based on that.
Yeah, they had a local. I mean, one of the makers. His dad was there. He was playing his guitar.
oh, okay.
That's funny. Okay, cool. I can't wait. This is going to be so awesome. Now, Chad. Yeah, that's pretty good. Wait, Nick, you got anything else you want to tell us? Anything you want to give us exclusives? Something we should know?
No, I'm gonna be busy all day, every day.
You'll be there every day. You're not leaving. We'll give you. Duke and I will let you go walk around, man. We'll
Oh, thanks. You'll let me.
don't worry. We won't let too many people get killed at your lathe. You know, maybe just a few.
I haven't lost any hair. People with hair getting wrapped around the lathe or fingers.
Oh
You don't
God.
gotta worry about me.
I always show the kids the girl from Yale. You know about that story? Oh God, I shouldn't even mention it.
People can
I
go
won't
look
even
for themselves. You don't need to show it.
Yeah. All right. Does this look familiar?
Yeah, it looks a little familiar.
Yeah, Chad, this is your booth, man.
Yeah.
Are you doing the same thing? Can we get stuff powder coated?
Yeah, so we're going to have the ornaments again this year. Suncut Send has sponsored that, and they should show up on Friday. Crossed fingers.
Wow, cutting it close.
Send, cut, send. Cutting it close.
Yeah, man.
That's it was a myriad of issues, partly my fault, but also the person that was the contact. She was out of town last week, so it got run down to the wire, unfortunately. But they'll be here on time. So we got the ornaments. We've got the project that is a collaboration between Avid CNC, Lincoln. So there's a lantern that's being built, like a small lantern, like a tea light lantern. And you get to take it from the inception of cutting it all the way to cleanup and prep for welding it up, cleaning that weld up, and then any deficiencies, and then you get to bring it over and powder coat it. So that's
awesome.
an added element to the powder coating. We're going to have 2 booths this year set up, so that should be good as far as. And we're gonna probably do a limited number of colors so we can get more people through in a shorter period of time.
Oh, good idea. There was a lot of colors last time.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're gonna go with the Henry Ford approach. You can have any color as long as it's black.
As long as it's black. Exactly. Yep. So maybe 2 colors, I think, and we may change them throughout the weekend depending on what we have. So.
Okay.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And the whole idea is to demystify the process of powder coating. I think a lot of people are intimidated, thinking that it's a huge expense and it's really difficult, and you have to be some kind of genius level IQ to be able to do it. None of that's true because I do it. So.
Okay. All right, that's cool. Yeah, it's true. It's kind of like, what is it? Like you're throwing powder on something, then you bake it. How do you know if it's clean? What temperature? All that stuff, And
it's, I mean, literally, once you've done it once or twice, it's not that difficult because there's not a lot of changes from one thing to another. Basically, you wait till the part is a certain temperature. Once it hits that temperature, then you start marking down the time, and once it's completed that cycle of time, you take it out, let it cool, and it's like a plastic in a powder form that once you heat it up, it becomes a solid piece of plastic. And I mean, that's the easiest way to describe it.
Okay, that's pretty cool. And you can even do like high detail. Like this is kind of, I feel like this is pretty sharp, which is pretty amazing that the powder coat will still go around all these edges, even these little letters and words and stuff. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, any place where there's bare metal is going to be attracted to it. So that's doesn't matter which. Sometimes there's an effect that it will prevent from going into certain areas, but like something that flat, it's not going to be that issue.
Okay. What's the most challenging when it goes into a corner or a crevice or something?
So imagine, like, say, valve covers for a motorcycle or a car, where you've got those fins, the cooling fins, and it's like way deep down in. Sometimes it's hard to get it to kind of get into that area. Yes.
When it's in its powder form? Okay, that's interesting. That's pretty cool. Yeah, stoked. So how do you sign up for that? Do you have to first go to 42 Fab and weld it up?
If you're doing that project, I think you start off at the Avid booth. I don't know all the details on that part of it yet. I just know, like, that my booth is open these certain times, and we'll be there to help you get through the powder coating process. But
You said Avid? Where do I look for that? Do you see the schedule there?
add CNC.
Oh, yeah.
CNC router parts, add CNC. I know I can't read it.
It's the first one, the Avid CNC tent.
Yeah, there
Oh,
you go.
there you go.
The light
Yeah.
orange.
I need glasses. I can't see anything.
It's
Oh,
I'm
there
on
we
my
go.
phone, so it's super small, but yeah.
Oh, okay. They got one late, like 6 p.m.
Is that Friday?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. Duke, you think we can make that one?
Definitely.
Okay,
What time is it? Friday what?
6 p.m.
Yeah, yeah, should be.
It'll be close,
It'll
but
be
because we got to get
the close.
yeah, because we're like teaching school, and then we're blazing up to north to New York State.
Where are
Leave
you
it
located
Jersey.
now?
I'm in northeast New Jersey, and Duke is in East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna meet about halfway up, and then we're taking one car from there.
Gotcha.
Somewhere around the Orange County Choppers, where the old
Oh
Orange
yeah,
Choppers was. There's a Walmart, I guess, around there somewhere. We'll meet up there and then truck on up.
Awesome.
yeah. If you need something from Walmart, that's where we're meeting up. That's good. Cool. This is sounding good. So then you go to Avid CNC first, and you cut it out. That's awesome because I just got a CNC plasma cutter at the high school. The Bailey PT22.
Huh.
So I don't know anything about it, but I know
How big?
How
big is it?
They're like 20. Let's just see.
The 2x2.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's this one. The Bailey Industrial thing. Oh, I lost my place here. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Oh, we got a lot of
30
people.
by 31.
Yeah, this is it. And, you got like
2 foot by 2
program
foot.
it.
That's what it is.
Yeah. There we go. That's it. That's the one. Boom.
Awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait. We're gonna unbox it.
I have to say, like, my local high school where my daughters went, they actually have really stepped up their whole technology.
Hey, still.
That's cool. What are they doing?
They got plasma CNC, they got lasers, they've got vinyl cutters, they have wood CNCs.
Wow.
I mean, they every kind of digital fabrication, 3D printers.
What town is that?
It's in, I guess it'd be considered Snellville, Georgia.
Okay. Snailville? Is that what you said?
Snellville, Snell, the Snells.
Oh.
The Snells founded the town.
You got to get the shop teacher on the podcast. We'll interview them about their program.
Okay. Yeah, I'll talk to them.
Have them get into, do they do an IG?
That's a good question. I've never looked. But yeah, they do have
Okay.
they do have a good program there.
Because that's how this whole thing got started. We were shop teachers, living in a silo, kind of just working by ourselves. And I was like, this is crazy. There's got to be other people doing this. And then we started, IG made it so easy. And then I got in touch with one teacher from Upper Peninsula of Michigan. and then Mr. Barbachek, and then we started a podcast. Man, it must be like 6 years ago or something. And then it led to this, where it was like a weekly meeting.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, it just kind of like evolved, and then over time, you know, we and then we dump all the podcasts onto the YouTube. Let's see, you know. Here it is, and we have audio, but I haven't finished putting all these onto the audio yet. But we got a whole bunch, and we talked to so many different people. It's so awesome, you know. But the whole idea is to connect the shop teachers so that they're not just working alone. Because some programs thrive, but some of them, you know, teachers working alone, and it's like crazy. You got to be able to talk with other tradespeople, industry pros, you know, makers, and you know, and I found out Maker Camp through Nick, and Nick's a shop teacher up close to where it's happening. Yeah.
Yep.
So
yeah, I haven't seen Nick in a while. Nick and I, we've known each other for probably about 7 years.
Oh wow! Okay, nice.
So, he's an OG. He's an OG in the group that we're all a part of.
Nice. I like that. Yeah.
So
he seems to know everyone.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Yeah. And he's a lot
He also knows
taller
a lot
in
about
person
barbecuing.
than he looks on the screen here. It was funny when I went to the booth. I was like, "Holy, that's Nick! Jesus." Cool. All right. Yeah. So I want to learn about
Funny
this.
thing is that I know about the podcast. Sorry, I know about it because of Nick, so it's backwards.
There you go.
So funny.
So, what software? Are you guys using like Mach 3 for that or Mach 4?
For this plasma cutter?
Yeah.
I don't
Or do
know.
they
I
have
know
their
how to
own?
use SolidWorks and Onshape. And I understand if you only kick out a DXF file, does it have its own software? I really don't even know.
Well, that's the thing. You need that post processor, you know, to write the G code like we were talking about last week with George. You know, you can create it in Onshape and all that, but you need to post process it in, like Chad said, Mach 3 most likely.
So does this come with oh, here it is, Bobcat Cam Express Design. This is it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the CAM software that converts your imagery to the G code, and then Mach 3 takes care of running the G code to your motors.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
If you hear an echo, that's the fact that we're in the same room.
What do you got, the dining hall?
Yeah. There's 4 of us over here, so
Wow, no
hanging
kidding.
out
That's
together.
awesome.
Yeah.
What is it? You're already at Maker Camp? Is that why?
Yeah.
Well, we're at my
midway.
place.
Yeah.
We're at my place here in Leesburg, Virginia,
Oh,
Oh, okay.
where I have my own makerspace.
oh, nice.
He does.
That's cool.
Literally.
Really? You want to give us a tour?
Mhm. We could
I
walk
could.
down there.
Yeah, we
Really?
can walk down there. Yeah,
Hell
sure.
yeah! Let's do this.
Man, when he says he has a
Yeah, this is great.
he has a maker space that's bigger than most high schools.
Yeah, it's not a fair representation. Phil, you knock it out of the park.
Oh, Stu's on here. I didn't know you were on here, Stu.
What's up, Stu?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you're on here. Of course I got to be here, buddy.
Dude, all right.
Supporting the shop
All
teachers.
right.
So
Bill,
Stu
we're
is
putting you
my
front and center. Go horizontal, man. Go horizontal.
so,
I will. I gotta find something to charge my phone while I'm walking around because I'm literally running out of battery right now.
Stu, thanks for joining us. Where are you coming from?
Are you stateside yet, Stu?
Chicago.
What?
did you make it back?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry, Sue. Where are you coming from?
I'm in Chicago. I'm just a couple hours north of, Justin Dietrich, who's the guy who's really in the shop all the time. Yeah, so I'm just a few hours north of him.
And are you coming to Maker Fair?
Absolutely. I'm taking the
Dude.
fast track, though. I fly in tomorrow morning.
This is awesome. I can't wait to meet everybody.
Yeah, it's
Dude,
going to be
this is
great to meet
great.
you guys, too.
Stu and Will Shear were just across the pond, so they're world travelers.
Yeah, exactly. We just flew back from Germany a couple days ago. Will Shear and I. So that'd be great.
Who flew back with you?
Will Shear.
Oh, okay.
You know Will. The guy who's doing the barbecuing. Who Ed is bringing the barbecue for.
Oh, that's going to be
Who
awesome.
am I?
Ed knows Will.
So, and Sue, what is your Instagram?
It's Yellow Mug Inc.
And hold on. Got it. There we go.
How do you turn your camera around on this?
Just turn it horizontal. No.
No, he's saying.
I mean,
Button at the very top. There's a
like,
there's like the two arrows like that.
What?
One arrow this way. One should be like a. There should be like two arrows circling each other.
where?
Yeah.
look at the very top of the screen, Chad.
Oh, I see it. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, there you go. You
There.
just turn your camera horizontal if you can. Yeah.
So there's about $500,000 in plywood and some other woods. We got the stop here. Sorry,
Down.
started without you. So the saw stop. He's got his fresh cleat with all his Ryobi tools. He's made a bunch of specialized storage solutions here. Amazing stuff like that. Check out his spray paint. He built all these.
Wow. This is awesome.
So
I'm gonna let you keep talking
he's got-
because when it records,
he's got the sandblasting.
it records. Yeah.
Okay. Sandblasting cabinet. He's got a massive powder coating booth here. He's got the sweet Tonka toy. Belt sander. Tell me about the belt sander, Phil. Come here.
So the belt sander is a SCM. It's like 30 years old, and it has a pneumatic belt tensioner and alignment built in.
So we're going to open this up so you can see the inside of it.
So it allows you to, there's a diagram here in the back, and when the belt goes through an air stream, it automatically tilts this and brings the belt back.
So this is an old tool, but it is absolutely awesome. Nice Rikon.
Wow.
Got a beautiful saw set up here. I can't.
This is amazing, by the way.
This is a shop of shops. Okay, so here's another storage solution he made. He's got all kinds of paint storage. I mean, do you know anybody that has this many spray paint cans in their house?
No.
So there's all that, but we're not done. It's on wheels. So it's on wheels. There's a whole nother setup here, and then another on this side over here. So literally three sides of this, I think, are paint cans, which that's a lot of paint. And then one side has clamps on it. He's got this amazing press brake.
Oh, that's serious.
Yeah, it's
Let's see the iron worker too.
Holy
well, that's the
crap!
iron
You
one
could
right
punch
there.
holes in like a half-inch steel, probably.
Or more.
Is that right? Half inch?
3/4.
3/4.
Yeah.
3/4. And then we've got this is one of his newest tools. I just saw it for the first time today.
Oh my God, that'll make any radius in steel tube you want, right?
Exactly. Got a welding station here that's on wheels. So we got this nice setup here where he's got all of his welders and all that setup, the water cooler, all that, a bandsaw, one welding station here, forklift.
Fireball tools.
Oh yeah, all kind of fireball tool stuff. Big fans, big fans. We got, you need to bring in something. You think this is cool? You ready?
There's a forklift.
He's got a forklift, but look at this.
Oh, you got a gantry system.
An overhead gantry that'll hold up to 2 tons.
And it's not
This is a
some
private
like, cheap
shop in his
Chinese.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is his forklift. All kinds of steel storage up here behind the forklift and down along that wall. All right, then we've got the
How many
JD
square feet is this, by the way?
2,400 with the first floor.
That's the first floor, yeah. So here's a JD squared.
First floor.
Yeah. Here's a JD squared plasma table. Then over here we got a nice Miller Matic 251. This is really cool. The Kemper ProMaster. It's for welding or whatever you need to evacuate some, filter the air.
Saving your lungs.
Yep, save your lungs. Another welding station over here. Bunch more Fireball tools.
What
all of his
what kind of
grinders up here
table
on
is
the
that?
wall.
Is
What?
that a is that the
This right here,
Uh-huh.
yeah?
this is a welded kit. And
It's a
then
weld
I
kit.
built the table around
So
it.
he just like got one part of the weld kit table and then made his own frame for it.
Okay.
So partially
Cool.
weld
Nice.
kit. He's got a, is this 2x72 or 2x48? No, this right here.
72.
2x72. Yeah, so you got a 2x72 grinder here. Whole bunch more clamps, C clamps, that kind of stuff for metalwork. Grinding station set up for his bandsaw.
Oh, is that a swag adapter?
I don't think so. I think this is a fill adapter. The CNC Metalworks metal design adapter. Yeah, he built that.
Nice.
We got a nice metal cutting station there. Circular saw. Again,
Chad.
the JD squared table. 48 by, was that 8 feet or 10 feet?
It's 4x8.
4x8. Yes.
Is there anything in the powder coating oven?
I didn't. I opened it earlier. I think there's just the racks in there.
Because for perspective, you probably need to stand in it because you're doing powder coating at the Maker Camp, and you really should have an oven that big with the number of people going to Maker Camp.
Hop in
So
there.
for perspective,
So I told him, I said to him, I was like, dude, you got this on wheels. Bring it with you. All right. So
oh my God.
Are you guys, you can
it's a
fit
small
two,
oven.
You can fit 2 motorcycle frames in here.
Whoa.
That's how big it is.
Yeah.
So I was going to show you earlier. I guess I left it here. So he did these last year on his plasma CNC. You were showing me the ornament.
Yeah.
He made some about, what are these, about 10 inches across? So, huh?
I think it's 12.
12 inches across. Whereas the ones that we have for ornaments are 4 inches. So that's a good portion of the actual workspace. Now he has an office in here. I'm gonna take you in that way. So here's the office. Check this out. He's got countertop that's like a river countertop. He's got a large TV screen here for his customers as they come in. And this is where he's actually manipulating everything to show to his customers sitting here what's going on up here. He's got stools, and of course, everything's, no detail left undone yet.
Oh,
So
wow.
he powder coated all this stuff up here.
Interesting.
And
powder coating, that's the way to go.
Oh, so I didn't know this opened up. I just learned something new. So that's cool.
Wow.
Yeah, this is all on hinges. So
oh,
that opens up, and there's going to be a door here, something that you would expect to see from Valhalla. Now, if you don't know, Phil is kind of a sci-fi geek. So as you walk in, and this isn't finished yet, this is still in process, but you can see here he's got all the plasma cut design stuff here.
Yeah.
And then this is just the foam insulation for the actual thermal benefit for the shop. And he's been slowly but surely making it more sci-fi by adding the highlights with the green
Whoa.
highlights. So you got kind of this industrial look with the pipes running through, and then you come over here. Yeah, so he's got like all of his like storage and organizational stuff in here. But look here, this looks like something out of a spaceship, right?
Yeah, man.
He's got everything numbered, so he knows which cabinet all this is in. Everything's organized.
Cool.
He's got some wall control, but again, more of the details up here. Now check this out. Look at this storage.
Whoa. You got some hardware?
Yeah, there's very few things he has to run out to get. He's got some storage cabinets. I didn't point those out, but in the other room, there were some metal storage cabinets that came out of an AOL facility that apparently they didn't need to store the 40 free hours or 50 free hour discs anymore. You younger people probably don't know what I'm talking about. AOL is a internet provider.
What is
The
that?
city
What?
AOL.
I know. I'm just joking.
America Online.
I know.
So he's got
Everybody
little
jumped
details
on it.
like
We
this.
crashed. We crashed AOL back when everybody jumped on. I remember.
So he's got little details like this as you walk upstairs.
That's cool.
And he's still working on the upstairs part. But since I've been here, he added the flooring since last year, Maker Camp last year. And then he's got this whole storage here. He's got this all-in-one gaming system.
Nice.
He's got this.
Whoa.
I don't even know what that is. This right here is cool. Phil.
Oh, it's
you got to do the honors.
It's like a speakeasy piano.
Yeah, it's like a player piano, but it doesn't play. Well, it could play.
There you go.
So you got a full bar in there. And then underneath down there, there's also another storage area. And then you got this door here. I can open it. This is an above view of where we just were.
Wow.
Does that make sense? So you got basically it allows him to get stuff upstairs without having to use the regular stairway. Of course, a nice wine chiller, for us bougie people. Speaking of bougie, check this out. This is the Doghouse. So if he gets in trouble, this is where his wife sends him. Tell me how upset you'd be. It's got a nice sink, mirror, cool shower set up here. He's about to put the shower curtain up, but bathroom. So, can you see that?
Yeah,
doorway?
sauna.
You feel like a cold's coming on, you need to cook it off. Boom.
Whoa.
Got a nice sauna in here, all set up for the sauna. So yeah, as I was saying, with the wine and bougie, totally. He's got his polar air compressor screw. He's got the it's a three phase, so he's got the American rotary phase converter.
Is that the tank next to it? Can we see the tank?
Sorry. Yeah. Skipped
Good
over that,
Lord.
Yeah, that tank is 250 gallons. There's no shortage of air. And he's using all kinds of air stuff in here. Sorry it's loud, but everything's running. Got the laser. What is the size of this? 36 by
50.
36 by 50.
150 watt.
150 watt. That's a big laser. It's designed for doing stuff like this. So that's I guess that's about a 1/4 inch.
Wow.
These are the tops of his bourbon smokers. He's got all these skeletons from previous cuts, and just having these leftover pieces, he doesn't have a shortage of space right now. So he's saving all this because you don't know when you need a piece of wood this size.
Mm.
It doesn't make sense to throw it out, right? if you have the space. Now, obviously, if he was crowded and needed the space, he'd get rid of it. All this foam here, that's an interesting story. So let's go back out to the other room that we were just in. He's in the process of still building out this room. And he's got more of the foam right here.
Okay.
See that? See this?
Cutter
For foam. See the outline of the blue?
Oh yeah, it's going to be an art piece.
It's going to be more than an art piece. It's going to be an interactive art piece.
It's going to be the window of the.
If you're on the
bridge
deck,
spaceship.
yeah, if you're on the deck of the Starship Enterprise, that's what you're going to be looking at.
No way.
Yeah. Sorry, Rafi.
That's awesome.
This is what you are able to accomplish with unlimited budget and plenty of time. It's yeah. So to give you an idea, how long is that?
Imagination and a little design capability.
Yeah, he's done like some cool like fixtures, and it's just a cool space. Plenty of lights. Cam lights. I don't know. You got like 1, 2, 3 times. There's 24 cam lights just in this room. But this right here, he's going to put up, what do you call them? Short?
I'm going to put 2 ultra short throw laser projectors for a combined screen of about 320 inches.
Did you get all that?
What?
Well, it's going to have 2 laser projection on the ceiling, ultra short throw laser projectors, and they're going to create a single 320-inch screen that I'll run through a home theater PC. So I can have basically a space scene or
a movie
or James Bond's underwater bar or whatever.
Oh, wow.
320 inches wide. Now this is much wider than that. So what is the total distance? It is 320?
40 by 60.
360.
This is 40 feet across.
40 feet,
So
okay.
This is 320 inches diagonal.
Okay, so so just the blue part, inside the blue lines is 320 inches across.
This is awesome. And
Yeah, this is an amazing space. So it's not finished yet, but you can get a feel. You can get a feel for it.
Yeah, man.
So very cool.
And it's
So
not
the idea I had for this space was to basically workshop. So it's multi-purpose, so I can bring in folks to do classwork, and then I'll have a large presentation screen, and be able to do workshop for teaching digital design, and then carry all of that design work downstairs to do it practically.
And he does maker meetups here probably once a year.
I'll probably start doing them more often.
He'll do them more often as he gets this thing closer to finished.
I was just going to say, like, it's such a cool space. I hope it's like at least semi-public because, man, you got to share this with people. This is great.
Yeah. As far as sharing it with people coming over, I don't know that it's open on a daily basis, but
No, not
you know, yeah. So don't want to misrepresent.
It's fully heated and cooled.
Yeah, it's fully heated and cooled. So you could see the insulation on the walls. It was whatever temperature you want it to be in here, it's going to be. And if you like bourbon, you're all set.
That's awesome.
Hey,
that's
Stu.
great.
Stu, is he still on here?
He's here.
I think so.
Yeah.
Stu, we had some old fashions.
Oh, you should in the smoker.
Yeah.
There's a special smoking device around there.
Yeah, so I'll show you that as I come down the stairs. There's one just happens to be on this counter right here. They tend to be laying around everywhere. So this right here is a magnetic lid. Somehow I can't get that one off.
What is that?
It's so if you had a glass of bourbon, you know what a cocktail glass looks like, right?
Uh-huh.
So pull the lid off. So there's a screen here, and you'll put like applewood or oak in here, and then you take a flame and you burn it.
Upstairs and
You know, we could actually demo it for you. Is there a glass up there?
Well, maybe not.
This is awesome.
Yeah, we'll show you.
I'm thoroughly enjoying this. This is like
We'll find a glass somewhere.
I feel like I'm there.
So
Why don't you just make a glass?
Yeah, you
So
know,
here's
glass
one.
blowing. What the hell?
Oh shoot! I just dumped out. So here's the wood, right? Oh man, I can't believe it. You don't have any kind of
There
glass
is
here.
glass blowing at Maker's Camp, so
Is there?
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
So here's the flame. You heat it up, and then the smoke starts coming out of the bottom,
Oh.
and it will go into the glass, and it makes like a nice smoky. Let's see. Can we replicate it on here? It might be too. No, the holes aren't in the right place.
The holes are lined up.
It's also worth adding that Phil designed, makes, and sells those, right?
Yes, he does. I actually bought a couple myself.
Where do I find that?
Go to CNC Metal Design on Instagram, and there should be a link in the profile. And they're probably not for.
Or on Etsy.
They're on Etsy currently. Okay, yeah, they're on Etsy. So.
They're made from hardwoods, maple, walnut, different styles, cherry.
Since we're here, we might want another glass of this back at the house. Got it? You want to bring the proof?
Here we go. I found it.
There we go. So this could be good. This could be some good content right here. We're carrying this back. We may not be back. Leave the lights the way they are.
Here we go.
Turn them off remotely.
Oh yeah, look, it smokes the glass.
Yeah. Oh, you watching the video? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, really cool. Nice design. Oh, it
Head
comes
back
with a
over.
box.
Look at that beast right there. Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, that's cool.
That's my truck.
That's cool. F-250 or what is that?
Yep, exactly.
Nice.
Oh, hold on a second. Look at this nonsense. Oops.
This is like the best tour we've ever had on the Shop Class podcast.
Hold on a second. Pull out a flashlight.
Have we had a better tour than this? Oh, there you go. Yellow mug.
That's what happens when you leave your truck unattended.
Anybody that comes to Chicago gets one of those.
Especially, yeah. You go to his shop. You shower in his shower, sleep in his bed. You get a parting gift. Look at the
Clarity
sky.
was
That's
a guest
cool,
room.
man.
It was a guest
Look at
room,
the
Chad.
sky. Okay,
We
yeah.
assumed.
You see that?
Oh,
Isn't that
wow.
beautiful?
That's cool. Nice.
It's just
Now, where
it's
where is this, in Virginia?
yeah.
Wow.
The wealthiest county in the country, according to Forbes and Phil. I don't know about Forbes. That's unconfirmed.
I like this one. We don't call 911. Whoops. Entered the wrong house.
Yeah.
That should be on everyone's door.
I think those are customer requests.
Oh, okay.
Man, what a beautiful view out here, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, I couldn't ask for a better picture. But there's a shop right down there I just walked from.
Wow. That
So-
is super cool.
I mean, if you're going to get an Airbnb for free, this is the place to go.
Yeah, for real. Oh, God, that's great. That's great with you guys. Thanks for the tour. That was so cool.
And a close first is Stu's Airbnb. He's his house is like Stu, what's the word I'm looking for?
I think you're looking for a private club.
Historic.
Invite only. Yeah.
Historic.
That was
This is
awesome,
everybody.
Chad. That was great. Thanks for showing us the whole thing, man. That was good.
Well, I thought I was.
And
like
Phil, that
oh,
was
there
awesome,
we go.
man.
Finally, I got it.
Yeah.
Finally, jeez.
Oh, that's a
Thanks,
nice
everyone. I appreciate the compliments.
You guys are.
This is
You guys are.
this is kind of my signature piece.
Oh,
Wow.
It's my dining room table. It's a walnut with dark epoxy pour. It's kind of hard to see it, but it's got some figuring. It's live edge. It's from the same brother slabs, and then I got a common piece to go in the middle. And then I used the Shaper Origin to fix a flaw. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, yeah.
So I had put a hidden Mickey in there because when I got to the final finish level, there was still a blemish in that corner. So my wife really liked that. And then the base is steel columns made to look like relief. It's kind of hard to see. Maybe
Oh, yeah, we can see it.
yeah. So the shape and the design is supposed to match the columns here in the dining room. So that's this is kind of when people say, how much did you pay for it? I say, well, how much are you offering? Because I think it would be fairly expensive. And then the other piece I've made is this what I call my waterfall table. It's just a piece that came up with. It's actually a drop. Everything in this piece is something that was left over from another project. So this here is another piece of that same walnut. And then I created this waterfall effect out of steel. And then the plate at the bottom was a drop off from another project. So that's one of my favorite pieces that I like to show folks.
Yeah, this is really sweet. There's a lot of cool stuff. What kind of steel is that? Is that stainless steel expanded and then curled around something? What did you do there?
So what it is just mild steel, but I powder coated it.
Oh,
so it's all mild steel, and then I just kind of cut it into weird shapes and bent it around so it looked like a splash. And then I used the plasma table to put these lines in to look like the water stream. And then if Chad will help me take one side of it, pick up one side of it. Just the wood, straight up.
Oh, wow.
So I created this superstructure underneath it with some ribbing so that it looks like it's floating when really it's not.
And is that powder coat a clear coat? Like, how come it's silver, or is it a silver?
Oh, it's basically a silver. You can get powder coats now that, and Chad will tell you, are super clean, and they can get you that metallic look without too much trouble.
Wow, interesting. Okay. Oh my God, this is so cool. You know, really, this is important. Like, to see stuff like this, and then to go to Maker Camp this weekend. Just you need to like connect and see what people are doing. It's like pure inspiration. I'm like, wow, what am I doing? I got to like step up my game and start producing stuff. This is so cool.
So here's a table he made.
That's cool. Nice.
It's got a metal base. Top is walnut with an inlay of epoxy. He made this epoxy cutting board. Also another cutting board. And then coasters.
All right, Stu will know what I'm talking about. Even I'm getting a little embarrassed now at all this show and tell.
No, it's cool. This is really good. This is like we needed this. This is awesome. Wow.
This is my favorite saying from Walt Disney.
That was a tribute to Stu.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's true though. It is true, man. Someone's got to push the envelope, right?
Phil's doing it.
Yeah, man. You got to reach out. That's awesome. Wow, super cool. So what are you going to be demoing at the fair? Tell us about your booth.
So I don't actually have a booth.
What?
I've gone now twice. Yeah, I don't have a booth. I've gone twice, and this time the intent is to do what I did last year, which is basically wander around, and if anyone looks like they're not getting attention at one of the booths where I have some expertise, I just kind of jump in and help out. I
Okay.
know most of the guys that are at the different booths, like um, the Lincoln Electric guys and Richard from 4 to 2 Fab, and of course Chad and other guys like that. And rather than take up time doing the activity, I'd rather just help and see if there's anyone there that's maybe struggling or they get overwhelmed. Because what happens is you get a flow of people, just like in a water park or something like that, where all of a sudden you get one particular booth where everyone wants to be doing something. So I kind of look for the crowd and I go in and try and help out.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That's cool. You're like a shop teacher, putting out
Well,
fire.
yeah, and I have all the fun tools, right? I mean, that's not a brag, that's just true. And so by having them, I have some experience. So if someone looks at, from there's always wallflowers in a group like this, and you'll have someone who stand way back at the edge and kind of whisper under their breath, "I wonder what that thing is." And I'm waiting for that person so that I can come in and say, "Well, that's a Shaper Origin. I have one. It's super cool. You need to go up there and try it." So that's the kind of things
Nice.
that I like to engage in.
That's great. That's great. You can't, I mean, everybody there is, there to help out. And, if you've got the experience, that's a good role. Pretty cool. You're a floater. You're kind of like, you're the bee. You're a pollinator.
Well, there's going to be a lot of people who have never seen any of these tools, and I can walk up to them anytime I want. So that's kind of the thing.
Nice.
Stu has a lot of these great tools, and he gets a lot of experience as well. So you should. What are you going to be up to, Stu?
I'm going to be helping out in the deburring booth after you go get your custom part cut out in the Avid Plasma booth. You take it over to our area and you get it deburred, and then you head over to Lincoln's booth and you get it welded, and then you go to Chad's booth and you get it powder coated. So I'll be in the middle of everything.
Awesome.
Dude, it is awesome. So the first thing you do when you get there is go to CNC and get the thing cut, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's Avid CNC. They're pretty well known in the maker space for making wood routers, and they use primarily extruded 80/20 aluminum, and so they're bolt together kits, and they're now venturing into the plasma cutting arena.
Okay. It's Avid CNC.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, I can't wait to do that. This is going to be a cool thing. And you're making like a lamp or something?
It's like one of those square box lanterns where you put a tea candle into it, so it lights it up. Kind of you can pick an image. I guess they're going to use different imagery and then cut it out, and it's just going to be a box, basically.
Nice. Okay, so then we head over there, and then the next day, when do we go to the deburring?
Most of this should be timed so you're doing it one step after the other.
Yep, and you can do it all the same day.
Oh yeah, so Avid CNC. I won't be able to make the 4 p.m. Probably not. No, definitely not. But maybe the 6 or 6:30, and then hopefully deburring is still going on.
So a lot of the booths are, I mean, just from experience, it's more about who has the time and energy to cover those timelines. Like the schedule itself it's not a hard and fast thing.
Yeah.
I know Chad will tell you that he got a little overworked last year with the powder coating because he just had so many different things going on. So I think that's kind of why the schedule is there, to keep people sort of moving in a particular pace. But Trust me, if you show up at 3:55 and it closes at 4, they're not going to turn you away.
Yeah, cool. Okay. That's awesome. I can't wait to do this. It's going to be so cool. Let's see. What other ones should we look out for? Oh, wait, let me ask you guys, how are you doing the deburring? Is it, Empire Abrasives?
Yeah, so Empire Abrasives is going to be providing some abrasives. I think Roderick's going to be providing some of the equipment to run it on. And we're going to not be really using angle grinders just for safety reasons. So it's going to really be stationary equipment is the plan. And it's going to be a fast and easy process, honestly. So with the plasma really tuned up and linked in, it's going to be easy to, do that next step and then move on to welding.
Okay. There's also there's like a deburring air powered router that I found on the internet for doing stuff, and it's got a small bit. I wonder if that has any merit. I haven't tried it yet.
Dude, that thing's awesome.
Really?
I've had one, and it is unbelievable the finish it puts and how quick it works. But
Really?
it is the loudest tool I have ever dealt with. It's definitely in the upper ranges anyway, if it's not the loudest.
Which tool is that?
Is that the one Zepp suggested, Stu? The little
it's basically like a router for steel.
Yeah, little handheld router. I have one, and I use it every once in a while at school. And like Stu said, it's obnoxious. I mean, any air tool is obnoxious, but
I haven't bought that. I have it on my wish list. So if anybody wants to go to my Amazon,
I think when I picked it up, it was like $70 or $80. It's like, okay,
they're not that much. They're not that much.
No, they're not.
Oh, here it is. The chamfer table. So this is like Schwag makes a thing that goes with it.
Hey, David here, Flag Off Road, coming to you.
I'll have to give them a call.
Yeah, you like mount it on the bottom, and then you buy it on Amazon. Then you buy their piece to mount for it. They made a table basically.
Oh, and then foot actuated for the.
There you go. Look at that.
Nice.
Yeah, that'd be a lot easier.
Hey, Stu, when are you getting into New York?
I agree. That would be a much easier way to use that router, by the way. That's definitely what anybody needs to do. I get into New York tomorrow. I land at 11:30, meeting up with some people at the airport, and then we're all grabbing a car and running down to Maker Camp.
Carpooling.
I would say if you had time, come to my high school, check out the shop. But yeah, we're probably all trying to get up to Maker Faire.
Well, if it works, I mean, I'll send you a message. Maybe we can just exchange addresses, and if it works, that'd be awesome. If not, tomorrow, maybe Monday.
You're flying into Newark, or you're flying into Kennedy?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going into Albany.
Oh, yeah,
But I go downstate. I'll be back there in a couple weeks, so we should still talk. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's not operational right now, but we got an electric car that we built with the students out of a Volkswagen Rabbit. And then
it's awesome.
Yeah,
Do you put a generator in the back of it?
No, we just plug it in. But that would be good.
That'd be super cool. I'd love to see that at some point.
Yeah. And then we got a wood shop and all this stuff and whatnot. Yeah, you could give me some ideas. I mean, that's the point of the Shop Class podcast, connect people to make the shop classes better.
And Ron's school is right in West New York, too, so it's like right across the river from the Manhattan.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's super easy. Yeah, I'm there a couple times a year, so we'll make that happen.
Oh, absolutely. That would be awesome. Cool. This is exciting. I'm so glad we did the pregame. I'm glad you guys joined in.
Duke and Ron, I would definitely suggest that you go and look at the Shape of Origin for your schools. Having it at my school, even just metal engraving, on the brass end or the aluminum end, would be something to look into. With you, Duke, with your middle schoolers, they'll pick it up 1, 2, 3, and their software is intuitive enough that you can actually just draw right on the program, on the shaper itself. So
yeah,
I stopped at the booth real quick last year.
Sorry.
Yeah, the shaper's so cool. I tried this at Maker Faire like maybe 6 years ago or something like that. Like, who knew?
Yeah, a little correction. We're going to Maker Camp this week.
Yeah, Maker Camp.
Not Maker
Oh
Camp.
yeah, no, I know. I keep saying that. I just, it's not my fault. I miss Maker Faire. They're done. What happened to them?
This is the new place.
You know what's funny? This is way better because this is like actual hands-on wood, metal, plastic, and like feels like real stuff. Where the Maker Faire was fun, but it's a lot of digital blinky stuff.
We were trying to expand it, and if you were in New York at the last one, there was we had the blacksmithing, and like we had kind of started pushing it towards more of the practical tradesman skills, but unfortunately before they got to that point they strangled themselves into bankruptcy. So it's important to have the right people in the right place. And what's crazy about it is they lost their footing when the economy was about as good as it could get, and how do you recover from that when the economy only it's either going to be the same, maybe get a little better, but then worse. It just was it takes a lot of corporate sponsorship, and they didn't have Lincoln or Miller or any of those trades putting in any effort on that. So had they held out another 2 years or 3 years, they probably would have had all that.
This was the car we brought there. This was the electric car. We showed it back in 2015.
Oh yeah. I was not there in 2015. But
yeah, that was a good time.
Was that 17, Chad, that we were there?
Yeah. So my friend Greg Mead, we call him Tall Greg. He's like 6'5", 6'6". He was the corporate liaison. And he was initially a volunteer, but became a full-time, not a full-time employee, but full-time paid employee for the events in San Francisco and New York. And he was the one that actually got me to go to Maker Faire. So I'd be remiss if I didn't shout him out.
That's cool. Yeah, it was a good time. They're always so cool. Do you remember this kid? He was the one who, this is like a political thing, but basically he had like a Arduino board or something like that, and he brought it to school, and then the staff at the school thought it was a bomb. So they wanted to arrest him or something like that, and President Obama was like, whoa, it's a science project. Can everybody just chill out? And we're all like, yes, stand up for the makers. All right, man. It was cool. It was a good moment,
Yep, I remember
and
that.
That shot him into like stardom. He was like a walking around celebrity. It was hilarious. That's funny. We went back a bunch of times. Let me see.
You got everything on there. How many terabytes do you have on that hard drive?
Oh, I pay for the extra. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. I think this is the one. Wait, what was the last year that they did it?
17 was the last time we went.
Oh yeah, I got that. That's it.
But I don't know if they did it after that or not.
And they had like crazy they had like what's that called?
Sexy cyborg.
Yeah, and then like the fire breathing.
That was that year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Modern Forge was right behind that.
Okay.
Oh yeah. That was it. Yeah. Was that 2017 for real?
17 or 18? I'd have to look back at my feed.
I want to say it was 2018. What is your? Do you have a date on those videos?
Yeah, it's a 17.
Dang.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's been 5 years.
There.
Oh, that's so sad.
Look at the date on not just the title, but there it is, September 23rd to 24th.
Yep.
Yeah, I caught
Yeah, 'cause
this.
my son was 9 when I took him, and everybody was amazed that I was letting him use the Arbortech tools.
Wasn't that cool? I caught this rainbow out of the sphere.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that was a cool thing.
The World's Fair globe.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be right back. I have a fire call.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Tech Ed fireman for real.
He'll be right back.
I thought that was just a gimmick.
No,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Fireman. Okay.
I know.
Yeah, there was always some cool stuff going on. Like even stuff like this, they had like a drill powered bike.
So I was a Maker Fair in 2014 when Jimmy DeResta gave me tickets to come, and I brought my family.
Oh, nice.
That was like the year that I think the first year that Jimmy did it. I don't know if he did it again after.
Who's this Jimmy guy you're talking about?
I met him once or twice.
Jimmy who?
So yeah, actually, I went to Maker Fair in Louisville 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. They had like a mini or something.
Well, I mean, by today's standards, it's the Maker Fair.
Oh yeah, totally.
What else is there? But yeah, Louisville had one. It was pretty good. I had three roommates. I had Bernie Solo from Works by Solo. If you don't follow him, he's a good follow.
What is it?
And there's Works by Solo. He does a lot of CNC and metal lathe and what's it? Huh? Machining. Yeah, machining. That's not him.
Oh, jeez.
I don't think.
Oh,
change.
Works with an S.
Yeah. By Solo. There you go.
Oh yeah.
That's
Bernie Solo.
That's Bernie. So those drums are 3D printed, and the nutserts that go into them those right there. He made those.
Oh.
And that's for what's the name of the band? It's a traveling like professional band. I can't think of the name of them right now. Panic at the Disco. There you go.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
Yeah, it's a real band. So the drummer came up with this concept of making 3D printed drums, and the nutserts, the inserts that go in to tighten down the drum heads, are a specific size. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, but nobody makes them. Like you can't get them stock from Amazon or anywhere. So this guy's like in a panic. He's like, there's an industry standard for drums, but they don't make an insert that fits. So Bernie ended up getting the job through a friend of a friend of a friend. And that's the maker community. It just sums it up, really.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So then my other roommate was Derek Forrester. Some of you might have seen him on Making Fun.
Oh, what is it? What's the Instagram?
Derek from Malden, the Bearded Wonder. Derek, DEREK. Try one R. There you go. There it is.
Boom.
So if Jimmy DeResta had a best friend, not just one, but if he just had one, it would be Derek. And then my other roommate for that event was a small channel. Some of you might know him, Jimmy DeResta.
Oh yeah.
DIRESTA.
Oh yeah. We know Jimmy.
That's what we call the humble brag. Yeah. So it was a good weekend.
That's awesome.
I wake up at 7:30 in the morning to some kind of ruckus in the other room. I'm like, what the hell's all that noise? I come out of my bedroom, and there's Derek and Jimmy sitting on the couch watching the big screen TV. And what are they watching? Take a wild guess.
World Wrestling. I don't know.
No, it was a Netflix show.
I can't
Oh.
believe it.
Nobody?
What'd you say, Rafi?
I said I can't believe it. They were watching themselves on the screen.
They
were on
were,
show.
and that was the funny part of it. And
Make
so
it
I'm giving them a hard time. They're like, we haven't actually watched it before. Neither one of them had watched their own show. So like they're watching it, and all they're thinking about, and it was kind of cool because we got to sit and listen. Bernie and I got to sit and listen to the background of all of what was happening on the show, and like, oh yeah, we shot this, and this was happening, and we get to hear about like the staff that were working on the show, and it was a fun time.
That's awesome. Dude, it's so cool. What a cool thing. The maker community is like really like inviting, everybody's kind of, invited to share and stuff. It's great.
So I always, I've known Jimmy for a long time, since like 2015. Ed, Nick is the same way, Tech Ed. He's the same way. He's known him the same amount of time, maybe even longer than I have. And it's like, to me, it's amazing because Jimmy is probably one of the bigger names in our community, but he is such a genuinely cool dude, like nice and inviting. And I mean, you couldn't ask for like a better ambassador for an industry than, somebody like Jimmy. Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, 100%. We had him on the show. Nick set it up, and Nick's prepped me. Says, look, he probably only has about 15 minutes to give us, so just expect anything and this and that. And then
2 hours later.
3 hours.
3 hours.
Yeah, there you go.
3 hours of storytelling with Jimmy DeResta. It was awesome, man.
I mean, isn't that the best? I mean, really, that's just who he is. It's not a put on. It's not like I've seen him
100%.
at his best, at his worst. I've seen him behind the scenes, in front of the camera. I've seen him everywhere. And I'm not saying he's the exact same person, but he's a genuinely good person in all of it.
Yeah.
So
totally.
I feel like, in some, you don't get to always elect your ambassador. You know what I mean? Like sometimes the ambassador is just somebody that's appointed politically, and you don't always get to have the representation that you want. But Jimmy is absolutely the representation you want.
Yeah, totally. We had him on, and that was a good time. Speaking of characters, we got Mark Willie in the house. You got to meet this guy. He comes from the building science side of things. Mark, you there? Oh, you got to unmute yourself. You got to meet Mark. He's a character, man.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry for joining late. It's a tired, long Wednesday, just like yesterday, eh?
Yesterday was Wednesday?
Mark, good to see you, man.
I'm going to mute myself now.
So what did I miss? What were you guys covering? Are you covering the Catskill Maker Camp?
Yeah, but we got the shop tour from heaven, dude. It was like we went through a space that was just it's like you would dream about a maker space, and there it was.
Was that Chad's, or who's what we're seeing?
That was
Phil.
Phil from CNC Metal.
Oh, a metal one.
It was like the old Toys R Us warehouse for makers.
Wow.
That's Phil with the cat right there.
I'll go back and watch it.
Oh, yeah.
I'll go back and watch it.
And they had some trick stuff.
You won't regret it. I promise you. It's amazing. It's absolutely a maker's dream.
There was some trick features like a piano that's not really a piano. It's a bar.
Oh, nice.
And
check my TikTok later. There's going to be a video.
Okay.
That's one of the platforms I don't go on. I have an account. I don't have TikTok on my phone. I guess can you do it from a computer?
You can, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I can send you a link to the video and you can look at it.
Oh, look at that.
There it is. Oh, I guess I did post it.
There you go.
Oh no, that's somebody else. Is that yours? Oh, that's Phil's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, his video is actually better than mine.
It looked like a gold leaf decal on the front edge. Was that vintage or recreated?
That's actually the original. It was a foot pump organ. And when I got it, the pipes had already been removed. And so all that was left was the keys and the bellows. And so I removed the bellows and the keys and put together the facade on the front that normally does come off so you can access it to maintain it. I used wood back panels to hook it all together, and then used gas pistons so that it rises up on its own and stays up off of drawer slides on the edges.
I like the lower shelf. I've seen upper shelf. I've never seen a lower shelf before.
Yeah, so the underside there where that's basically my overrun of my bourbon collection. And so I had to I built a drawer, and the foot pedals, which are original, cast iron, dated 1895 or something like that. I hooked onto that, so you can basically use those. Once you pull the panel off, you can drawer slide those bottles out for better access.
Sweet Jesus. Well, if it ever needs emptying,
Yeah.
I got.
You just have to come down to Virginia.
Oh, yeah, Virginia. Okay.
Ask him when his wife found out about it.
When she saw this video.
Oh.
She's like, "Oh, you're having too much fun over there." Okay, check this out. I feel like there's someone I know would totally appreciate this. So Speakeasy is Evan Favre, and he's got a motorcycle shop in New York State in Wallkill, and he's got his own whiskey line. But
nice.
Yeah, but what he did was he actually created, you see that piano in the background there?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of similar to yours, and they created like a little speakeasy place. So like they got an old barn and kind of outfitted it as if it's a speakeasy. That piano you made would be like perfect for this. Look at this.
I am considering selling it because it doesn't fit into a sci-fi asteroid mining facility very well.
Look at this place. Is that so where it belongs or what?
It kind of does. It looks like it. Yeah.
Right.
I have to make the connection.
I have a feeling the piano cost about as much as that bourbon collection.
So the piano itself was a freebie. It was actually an organ that was recovered from an old theater that was closing down in downtown Washington, D.C. And my daughter called me and said, "Hey, Dad, I want to save this. I don't know what for yet." And I said, "What's it made out of?" She said, "Well, it says walnut on the top." I said, "Well, if anything else, I can cut it up and make something out of it." So I went and picked it up. And then it sat in my shop at my other shop when I was still renting an industrial space for the better part of 3 years. And by that time, she forgot about it. And so I got around to doing something with it. So it was a lot more work than I thought it would be, though. And it's funny because I just had a coworker, because I do have a day job, say, "Hey, I want you to take my old grand piano and make it into a bookshelf." And he sent me a link to an Etsy, right? And it was an Etsy link for a grand piano that was turned on basically on its head. And they used the top of it to cut and make shelves.
Yep.
You want to guess what the price was on that thing? They were selling it on Etsy for $50,000.
Whoa.
Now, I don't think it will ever sell for that, but just having the cojones to actually say, "I want 50 grand for this thing."
The thing is, if you're going to make it into a shelf as a maker, you take your MDF and you give it the high luster lacquer, and it looks like a piano, and everyone's
right.
happy.
Exactly. Yeah. But the bona fides are there for this one. It's actually still has the paper label on the back from the Pennsylvania manufacturer from like turn of the century, 1900s.
Nice.
Wow.
So, yep.
50K is the I don't really want to sell this price.
Yeah. Well,
But if I do, hell yeah.
it's because piano snobs have never found an iPad yet, right? And I get that. Those ink transfers are what created most of those emblems on there. So they embed them in the clear coats. There are very few that are actually gold leafed. But even like the classic piano companies, they bulk bought those from it's printed on starch rice paper and transferred them on. Really incredible emblems. Unique. Kimball piano has the most ornate. It's a 7 golds and a few coppers and bronzes put in, but you could see it real quick when they raise them up and down. They're gorgeous emblems. There's nothing like it. It's like the closest thing. That's where the guitar world got it from. Is from the keyboard era.
Oh, that's cool. The gold leaf.
Yep. Well, it's an emulated gold leaf. I will warn you guys, if you ever take a piano and an organ and you put it in your yard and you add some accelerant and light it on fire, it is the tallest magnesium shooting fire you've ever had in your life. I've heard about it. Not pleading guilty.
Why? Where's the magnesium?
There's so many elements in the wires that feed, and then the different I don't know what you call the parts of a piano organ, but there's so many different elements and metals inside of that it literally shoots these white magnesium things like you've never seen. It's a spectacle the 4th of July is jealous of on any naval base.
Propose it for next year's Maker Camp.
Yeah, I was just gonna think of that. What is that? Oh, Burning Man. It's kind of inspired by it. That was what I was thinking about with that dragon from Maker Faire, and also these closing night. What is that on Sunday? The big finale, or is that on Saturday?
Sunday night. At least last year it was Sunday night.
Oh, perfect. I got some friends coming up. Some other shop teachers. Mark Balzarette and also Sal. He's a young kid. He's like a welder. I hire him to teach my classes with me. So
the last Italian, right?
Yeah, the last Italian. That's it. Yeah, we got Sal coming up. So I'm glad they're coming on Sunday, and so that'll be good. He's a young kid coming up doing welding stuff. He's kind of an artist, so he's always doing something funny. He's got this new one here. Oh, he didn't post anything yet.
He works in the supermarket, right? Or he used to.
Yeah, metal supermarket. Yep, that's right.
I met him there when you sent me there.
Oh, perfect. Oh, I didn't realize you went there. I forgot. Oh, that's right, because you went and saw my shop. That's right. That's right. That's good. Yeah. And this is Mark Balzarette. He's a shop teacher at Bergen Community College. He'll be there, so that'll be cool. These are old, but yeah, like this is so his backyard. He's just got a forge and stuff like that.
It looks like Chad's backyard.
So
just
funny.
as organized. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's got this Honda that is slowly being liquefied into the the nature over there. I think it's like the first Honda ever. Cool. Yeah. Now, so I'm glad that's happening on Sunday because man, there's so many people coming up.
So we don't get to find out what's happening on Sunday, right? That's you got to be there to find out kind of thing.
No, there's schedules posted on the Catskill Maker Camp webpage.
I got it.
You click the little
in the schedule. I mean specifically, like you guys had the crazy Godzilla.
It's a
spectacle
this year.
That's on there, I think. Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. That's also when the Maker Swap is going to go off. So,
Maker Bird.
Are you're working with that, correct, Stu?
I'm not this year. That's the Yeah, the
podcast.
Hand Tool Podcast. Yeah, they
Right.
took it over, so they're taking care of it, which is awesome.
Sure.
And that is going to be, all this stuff is going to be swapped. There's a couple of predetermined like drop-off times, and that's actually on their Instagram page. I know they posted
it's Working Hands Podcast.
Working Hands. Thank you. Yeah.
Yep.
And they have those drop-off times. Then the swap will occur. Basically, if you drop something off, you get something. And it will be something made by another maker. And that will be, the swap will happen at the barbecue on Sunday. So there's a giant barbecue. If Ed is still on, he knows a lot about it because he's providing some of the equipment for that. But my buddy, Chef Will Shear, who's also a maker, will be leading the barbecuing. And it's a gigantic, delicious meal. So that will be capped off by the swap.
Nice.
Yeah. It's going to be a great day. And then I don't know when the animal, the wood animal gets burned. I don't know if that's Saturday or Sunday. I honestly didn't look.
I think it's Saturday nights too.
Well, here's the drop-off time.
Okay, great. Yep, there we go. Perfect.
If it's Saturday night, then you could go, Duke.
Yeah, we'll be there Friday and Saturday. We're leaving on Sunday.
Yeah, for anyone who hasn't been there, there's this sort of giant open air area in the middle, and most of the cabins and camping spots and the booth and then the pavilion where the bar is all sort of encircle this big open field. And so just know you're going to be doing a lot of walking when you go from booth to booth. Bring good shoes because there's going to be a lot of walking. It's like it's a day of Disney World walking. And that's my best advice. Also bring layers because you'll wake up, it'll be 50, and then by 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, it'll be in the 70s. I don't know specifically, but that's how it was last week or last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's supposed to be cooler in the evenings, I think, Phil. So definitely prepare for it. You're up
Exactly.
in the mountain, basically. So
Yeah,
if you haven't been, bring something for your hat, just like you guys have on right now.
Right.
For your head.
Yeah. There is karaoke Friday night.
Oh, cool.
I have tentatively committed to doing something from Hamilton. If you're a fan. I know Stu knows what I'm talking about.
I do. I'm going to leave it to the suspense of the evening, though.
Yeah, sure.
They were good.
But last year it was a lot of fun. That was Friday night, and what else? Some people are getting there Thursday night. Not everyone, but there will be a good contingent of hardcore makers and booth occupiers there Thursday night as well, including us.
What personal equipment do you recommend bringing? Like a welding
Personal
helmet
equipment.
Or...
Well,
What?
so when you say personal equipment, I'm thinking welding jacket. Wouldn't be a bad idea if you're comfortable, if you have a welding hood. Sometimes if you really want to do some welding and you haven't, or you have a welding hood, you might want to bring that because sometimes they're in short supply. Lincoln will provide plenty of gloves. In fact, plan on going home with a pair of gloves if you're going to do some welding. You don't necessarily have to bring some. They generally are pretty generous with some of the PPE stuff. Safety goggles, if you have a preference, that are comfortable. There's a lot of different things you'll be able to do. You'll be able to do some lathe work for wood. You'll be able to do shaper origin. You'll be able to do welding, obviously blacksmithing. A ton of blacksmithing is going to be there. There's going to be like 4 or 5 different blacksmithing companies, and they're going to have plenty of anvils and hammers. So you don't necessarily have to bring that kind of stuff with you unless you have a real preference and you're already well into the blacksmithing arena. I
always like to say some ear protection too.
Yeah.
If you're going to be in the deburring booth or the abrasives area, or you're going to be in the blacksmithing area or in the, wood carving places, or it's noisy sometimes. So I always bring, I've got my big 3M MFs I bring, which are great.
I'm bringing a dust mask.
Yep.
One of those easy masks or whatever.
Yep.
Safety glasses.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I think I said that, but maybe I just didn't say it clearly. It's, your typical PPE. Ears, eyes, and breathing.
And I also like gloves too. I mean, there might be welding gloves around, but especially if you're going to be in an area where you are accustomed to wearing gloves, around metal and that kind of stuff. For me, that's always a better option. I just bring my own. I like sweating in my own gloves. So.
Yeah, I have a pair of TIG welding gloves that I like to bring.
That's funny.
And steel-toed boots. If you're going to be in any of the heavy blacksmithing areas, one of those hammers slips out of someone else's hand. A lot of the blacksmithing is somewhat close quarters. You're going to have some anvils that are set up, within a reasonable distance apart. But if someone inexperienced or just kind of loses a grip, you could see a hammer go, 5-6 feet behind them or whatever. I don't know. Anything else, Chad, you can think of that's kind of a thing to bring with?
I think he would protect you.
No, because I'm terrible at getting ready for this stuff.
What does Jimmy always say? Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Dude, half my truck is filled with my stuff, and I definitely don't have everything. A tripod. Your camera, your video camera.
Oh, yeah, there you go. An extra battery pack.
Phone.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Battery pack for your phone.
How many batteries do I have?
I don't know. 2.
Enough that you can loan anybody on this chat.
Oh, yeah. No, he's got a whole Milwaukee crazy setup for batteries.
It's like an 8-pack or something. It's ridiculous.
Is Duke still around? Are we going to stay long enough on Sunday for the burn?
Yeah, you're going home with Tim.
Oh, right.
Look on the schedule there. Is it Saturday or Sunday?
It looks like
last year was Sunday.
Sunday. It's got to be Sunday. It's the last thing, right?
Yeah, it's like the closing ceremony.
That's right.
On Saturday it says Brunt Work View.
Yeah. No, it's probably going to be Sunday. Oh, here's another thing, and I will give you this as a tip from Craig at Barefoot Forge. He brings either Pedialyte or those special extra additives that you can put into water to hydrate. Because unless you're a teetotaler, which is perfectly fine, nothing wrong with that, there will be some drinking. Yeah.
Teetotaler.
And so
British.
it is highly recommended that you hydrate and expect to recover quickly, because game on.
Where's Tim tonight?
Not sponsored.
Tim's my ride back. He's not even on the pregame. This guy's all pumpkins lately.
He's pumpkined out.
That's code for he's got a complaint about where the school he works. So we told him you can only post pumpkins. Anyway, this is good. I like the tour and the prep. This is awesome. This is a dream. I was like, I wonder if we could do a pregame, and it happened.
Yeah. So what I would say is that you are not going to be prepared for the amount of positivity,
dude.
You're not. The amount of there is going to be. There was zero drama. Like, even in spite of all the ego, zero drama.
Well, now that you said it,
is so healthy.
What?
No,
what
I didn't jinx it. No, I'm saying there's plenty of ego.
True. It's
around.
awesome. No,
but it's the best kind of ego. It's the kind of ego that says, "Hey, you're better than me." No, wait, you're better than me. No, you're better than me. Kind of ego. So
I'll say this: that I think that one of the big things about how this has grown, and hats off certainly to to Austin and his family for, building this to what it is, but they're expecting, and the weather looks like it's going to be beautiful, right? It's not supposed to rain for 4 days.
Right.
So it's going to be a
What?
banger, a huge crowd, I think. And they're expecting potentially 500 people on Saturday and Sunday, which is going to be awesome. But it also means that there's a whole bunch of people that none of us know that will probably be there, right? And
Mm-hmm.
what's super cool is unless it's one of the permanent residents on a golf cart, you may not have as much in common with them. But otherwise, everybody who came there is there because they make something or they're curious about it.
Yeah.
So one of the best pieces of advice that I literally gave myself was I'm like, I don't know where any of my friends are, and just turn around and talk to somebody random, and they literally have a story to tell, and you meet the coolest people there. I mean, it's unbelievable, right? You do that in a train station, you're either going to get punched or bored, but you do that at Maker Camp, and you're going to meet somebody cool. So no, it's really neat.
I'm totally perplexed. I can't even imagine Stu talking to somebody he doesn't know.
Come on, Chad.
Stu,
Huzzah.
Stu, that's a story right there. How did we meet?
I was at IWF in Atlanta. Highland Woodworking was hosting an event. I did not know anybody there except a couple of faces from YouTube. And I went upstairs on the balcony so I could get a better view of the entire shop. If you've never been there, it's a cool space. There's a big upper balcony. And I walk up to this guy with a big beard, and I said, "Hey, what's your name?" And he said, "I'm Chad from Mancrafting." And I was like, all right. There it started.
That was my last name, Mancrafting.
No, it's totally awesome. I mean, look at the positivity and all the people meeting right here tonight. This is like awesome. That's the whole point. We're trying to share ideas. We're trying to move forward, you know. Just to give you a round table a little bit, you know, there's also Duke is here, and also from Australia, Damien.
What?
Yeah,
awesome.
Dude. What's up?
Damien?
Doing?
24 hours later.
I will be there in spirit, in jealous spirit.
Damien, we wish you were here. How about Fab Tech? Can you make it up for that?
I don't think I can make it for anything. We're thinking of coming over to the States in December, maybe.
I mean, if you can make it in November, the Fab Tech's in Atlanta. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I know. I hear about it every year.
Fab Tech, huh?
Can we make requests for the weekend?
Yeah.
I really want to see, I haven't seen this since high school, but I really want to see Nick and Duke juggle chainsaws. Is that possible?
I do also.
There will be a guy there with some chainsaws.
Yeah.
2 guys, probably 2.
Yeah.
I think I could juggle them, but not while they're running.
Thank you. Yeah, we don't want that. FabTech is incredible. I've only gone to the Chicago one. It's beyond incredible.
It is.
Wow.
Atlanta and Chicago are very similar. We'll be there in about 3 weeks. So yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
There's 2 shows. Is it twice a year?
No, they do it once a year. It rotates between Atlanta, Atlanta, Chicago, and Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
But they skipped Las Vegas, so it was at Chicago twice in a row. Skipping 1 year because of COVID, and then back to Atlanta. So this year's Atlanta.
What booth are you working, or what do you do? Like what's your part in Fab Tech? Because it's just monsters.
Oh, so I probably won't be working a booth, but I will be there as press. So I'll be covering Fab Tech and showing you all the new innovations. Basically just being sexy. I'll be going to JD's party. If you don't know JD, this is JD. He's combing his beard right now, giving me a good look. So JD, if you don't know JD is Apex Welding or Apex-ish on Instagram and YouTube. JD also happens to be part of the what's JD? What's the website that does all the welding?
Welder skills. Welder skills.
Welderskills.com. So it's a paid site. So a lot of people will support a single maker for $10, $12 a month, maybe 25, depending on what it is. You can go to welderskills.com for like $12 a month and get 6, 7, 8 different professional welders showing you everything that they do.
What is it? Welder what?
Welderskills.com. And that was started by Jody Collier from Welding Tips and Tricks.
Yeah.
So JD is one of the welders that's featured. There you go, right there. That's Jody.
Are we talking Apex Welding Services or a different one?
Apex Welding Services. Just Apex Welding. Check that one out. Look for a very hairy guy with a bald head.
What you can expect to see.
Looks like that.
Here it is.
That right there.
So this is.
Hello, JD.
Let's see. Have you found him?
Yeah. Right.
So that's
I'm playing the video.
Oh, okay. That's Brad Goodman.
Okay.
So he's one of the instructors. JD is one of the instructors.
Oh, okay. I can find him. Sorry, hold on.
Type in JD on the search.
Search.
He's on the website for the.
There you go. If I'm not mistaken, Chad, isn't he a champion of the 3M grinding discs from FabTech? Or...
He absolutely is. He is the champion. Was that 2019 3M champion? Yeah, I mean, he can grind like nobody I know.
He can waste metal.
He is the world grinding champion. So let's just say we're not staying in the same bed tonight.
If you're using the disc, what grinder are you using? Can I ask?
What grinder were you using with the 3M stuff?
I think they were Makita.
He was using a Makita grinder, but his preference is Metabo. So the Metabo was like not the sponsor of that event. It was 3M. So they just picked whatever the cheapest thing that they could get, probably. And don't get me wrong, I've got probably 10 Makitas. Grinders. Yeah, I've got grinders everywhere. They're just, But the Metabos, if I had a Metabo in my hands when I bought my first Makita, I wouldn't have a Makita. I'd have all Metabo.
Got it.
They are absolutely the best grinders. No question.
My favorite thing in life, the reason I bring it up is I'd like to see who can make the grinder smoke faster.
Yes.
That is a fun thing. And it doesn't matter what brand you use. If you don't turn it off and you keep the pressure on, they will all smoke at about 2 hours. Love that.
Yeah, well, grinders, it's got a duty time, right? It's just like a welder. You can't use it 60 minutes out of an hour.
Right.
Sometimes they're 10 minutes out of an hour. Sometimes they're 15. Metabo is way up there. I don't know what their duty time is. It might be 80%, but it's got to have some time.
Yeah, it's a cheap thrill to get that incredible smell when it smokes out.
The smoke has released.
This is pretty cool. So for $13, basically, you get access to these.
I mean, if you support anybody on Patreon, and you don't get that much, really, like most Patreon, you're just supporting them because you like the creator, right? But you go to this website, and literally, you're getting something for your money. You're literally getting high quality content from people like Jody Collier, JD Brewer, Crummy Welding, Roy Cromwell, who's like NASA certified. I mean, this guy can weld rockets going to Mars.
Wow. This is awesome.
So
that's pretty cool. Interesting.
It's a great resource, not only for somebody who's like new at welding, but for somebody who might even be certified at welding and it wants to learn something beyond just your basic certifications.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. What this website, you guys all got together and kind of created this?
So I personally wasn't involved. This is JD and Jody is probably it's his website. Like he initiated it, but Jody wanted to create something that would outlast him, right? And YouTube, you're playing in somebody else's sandbox.
Yeah, for real.
So, you know, you do one
Good
thing,
thought.
you do one thing on YouTube that YouTube doesn't like, you might never be on YouTube again.
Yeah.
You know? So you might be a viewer, but you're not a creator. And so Jody Jody is very good at seeing what's going to happen before it happens.
Jody's half the reason people are on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, as far as welders,
No, anybody doing the whole.
anybody doing DIY content, yeah,
The first ones to start putting that shit on.
absolutely. Jody was an early adopter on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and he started putting out content to teach people how to weld, how to fabricate. He was one of the early adopters, and you know, because when it comes to learning stuff or teaching stuff, very few people, like our community is very rare in the creation world. Like if you go in the powder coating world, you go on a Facebook page, you see a bunch of pictures of cool stuff people have created, and then you ask them how they did it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, well that's a secret." You're like, "What? It's a secret?" Or another good example is in the woodworking industry, people who are doing really high quality fine furniture, veneers, that sort of thing. If you ask Scott from Imagine Grove, one of the things that he really hated about his industry is people's reluctance to share their expertise, because they took the position that everybody was their competition. But if you're a content creator and you have any kind of skill, or if you're just doing it because, like with me, I didn't come into it like as some expert on anything. I just learned one thing, and I was like, you know what? I'll bet there's other people that would want to know how to do this too. And so I shared that video, and it did really well. And I thought, wow, I could actually make money doing this. And so every time I learned a new skill, I would share it. And
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
like one skill rolled into the other. So I started actually with using a Cricut vinyl cutter and sandblasting stainless steel cups. And my best friend who was doing it with me, I actually started on my own, and then he was like, "Oh, this is amazing. Let's do this." So he jumped in and he was helping me. And our wives were in the other room, and his wife says to us, "Oh, look at our boys doing their arts and crafts." And I was like, "Excuse me? We're using a sandblaster. These are manly arts and crafts." And then my buddy Andy, he was like, "Yeah, we're man crafting." And I was like, "That's it. I got the name right there. Done. Trademarked. We're done. Copyrighted all of it." So yeah, that's the story behind it. It wasn't like I can do it and a woman can't. It was more, I'm not a boy, I'm a man. So, you know, some women take offense to it, whatever. I've gotten a few comments that way, and I'm just like, hey,
dare you?
You obviously have a
you're
chip
man
on your shoulder.
crafting. You're mansplaining.
Yeah, no. And so I go on there and I explain to them how they're wrong, because that's what women love to hear. So
Willie's got his hand up.
Go ahead.
He wants to jump in. What do you
got?
got?
A timestamp. So 4 minutes before the end of the hour, a timestamp of that last run from Chad to cut from this.
Yeah.
There's always little moments where someone just goes and gives their piece. This is a cut piece of what you just said, because information is ours to share. And when the norm becomes people sharing, it means the people that aren't sharing are outcasts. And what you said is that is your cut timestamp, Ron. That 4-minute thing. I missed the first hour and a half.
We're trying to get Mark's helping me because we're trying to take cuts out of the podcast, not just we put the whole podcast, but some people get on a wave and it's like, whoa, that's good stuff. And I feel bad if it gets buried away. It was great for the people that are here live, but maybe not everybody gets to see it because we're already 2 hours in. So we're going to cut that and put it and so, stuff like that. But I 100% agree with you. I had to, when I wanted to learn how to weld, I had to beg a railing shop to teach me. And there was this old guy who owned it. And, I was like, well, can I please learn? And he's like, get out of here, kid. He's like, I knew how to do a basic website. So I was like, oh, I'll make you a website. He's like, I don't want a website, this and that. This guy was about to retire, he's probably already retired. Anyway, so he said, okay, come here at 5:30 a.m. tomorrow. And I'll give you 15 minutes. And I was like, okay. And I got there in the morning. It was freezing. And, he rolls into the parking lot and I'm already there waiting for him. He's like, oh, geez, this kid actually is here, And I opened the door. I went in and his, his welder guy showed me a couple things and then literally just, hey, 15 minutes out. And I was like, okay. And I was like, oh my God. And that was like, after like a whole bunch of railing shops said no. So this was the only one that said yes.
Wow.
And that's just how it was back then, and that's only,
I mean, even now it's probably
20 years
rough
ago
to jump into a shop and have somebody teach you. But I think that if you went into a shop today and you said, hey, I'm willing to work for free for the next 3 weeks, teach me what you can teach me. And there's a lot of companies that would absolutely jump on that opportunity. And a lot of kids, like I was welding. I started powder coating. Powder coating led to welding because I created a tool that needed me to weld in order for it to work. And then I literally went back to school as a 54-year-old adult and went to welding school to learn how to weld. So I've got certifications. I'm actually a literal certified welder. And I absolutely, like, my daughter's 17. She's about to turn 18. She's going to Gwinnett Tech. She's currently getting her GED because I pulled her out of high school last year. And
thumbs up.
She's working on getting her GED. And as soon as she finishes that, she's going to start trade school. And she hasn't decided which path she's taken. She's already a decent welder. So for her, welding would be an easy path to success, and she'd make good money with it. First of all, there's not a lot of women in welding, and companies, they want to have the balanced, they want to have a balance of the number of people they hire. So, if there's not a lot of women, then if you're a good, and the thing is with welding, it's not like you're hiring a woman because you're trying to fill a quota. Typically, welding it's a easier skill to become excellent at as a woman for whatever reason. They have some innate ability that's better than men do. Men have just been doing it longer.
They got the dexterity, and I always make the joke that they don't have a shoulder problem. The guys come in my classroom and they're always like, "Oh, what's going on? What are we doing?" And but the girls go, "Hey, what are we doing today?" They're just like, "Okay."
Are you in the Bronx?
No, we're in Jersey, but it's hey, we're the
Jersey Shore.
No, oh my God, those guys are from Long Island and Staten Island, so we got a bad rap because of it. But the district I work in is the third most densely populated city per square mile in the entire United States, and our neighbor is number 2, and our other neighbor is number 1. So we are in the thick of it. It is thick.
Yeah. Here's the thing: when everybody's going to college, go the other way.
Yeah.
Go the other way. Go where nobody else is going, because that's where the money is. If you want to be an air conditioning tech, if you want to be a plumber, if you want to be a welder, if you want to be anything that's in the trades, you're going to make money like nobody that's in those other industries. I mean, there's entire countries dedicated to teaching people computer programming, and they will replace you for half the money. But a welder has to be present. They have to be at the location. And you can't hire somebody in India or China to do the job that you're doing here in the US. So service industry jobs that are manual labor are going to be the hot spot. They're going to be the best place to get those high dollar jobs, because a lot of people aren't willing to do them, because they've been taught that the only place to make money is in an office. I literally, here's my life story. I went to college. I was in school for 3 years. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had thought I wanted to be a DJ. That was the direction I was going. I learned that DJs don't make any money. I was like, well, that wasn't my dream. I didn't want to be a broke DJ. So I went into the Army to give myself a few years to save up for school and figure out what I really wanted to do. I went back to college, and as I was coming out of college, I took a break. I got married, and I went into sales, but I was selling stud welding equipment. So I was in the welding industry on the periphery as a salesman. And then the company that I was involved in, we bought out a welding fabrication shop. And I remember sitting in the shop as a salesman, as a, part owner in the company, thinking that I'm above it all. I'm about to be a college graduate. I thought I was the best guy that ever came through the doors of that place. And I had all these guys that were literally geniuses with fabrication, guys that were building stuff that went into Budweiser plants, and guys that were building like tools that were hydraulic and like just amazing stuff. And truthfully, I was intimidated. These guys had skills that I couldn't even comprehend. But I was also like, I can't get my hands dirty. I can't get my shirt dirty. I can't, I don't want to screw up my tie. You know what I mean? Like I thought I was something above it all. I literally look back on that time and I think these guys offered to let me go back in the shop and learn how to do what they were doing. And what a wasted opportunity. And I literally, as an adult, paid for that opportunity. Mm-hmm. So it's funny how life works, but there's so many parents that are so focused on this standard American dream of go to college, and now college is so expensive. I can't believe it. I've been saving for 20 years to put my kids through college, and we get there, and now college is way outpaced what I've been saving. I would have been better off buying them a house.
Yep.
They wouldn't have debt on a house, and they wouldn't need to worry about an education.
Even if parents put their money in the market, anything in the market. If I look back on what my parents paid for college, and then you look at, if you just track the S&P 500 or whatever, anything,
yeah.
Apple, put it on Apple. Anything would have been better. It's like unbelievable. A house, anything. Just the colleges have gone exponentially more expensive than they should be. I agree 100%. This is great stuff that you're saying. I kind of have a miniature version of kind of, and I'm sure everybody here is kind of relate, but I went to school for product design. And while I was there, I had to learn how to make the actual designs, and I struggled because I didn't know that was a thing that I needed to do. And right when I graduated, I was like, wow, how am I going to get my designs to get made? And I was like, oh, I need to actually learn how to do this. And there was this TV show called Monster Garage. And I was like, here's this guy, Jesse James, and he's drawing it and building it. And I'm like, wait a minute. There's no design school and no college. You just draw it, and then you learn the skills to build it. You become a maker. And it's like,
Yep.
you got to be kidding me. You do not need to follow any tradition. You just need the skills to pay the bills. Whether that's your drawing skills or your welding skills, whatever it is, you know?
Yep. Yep.
So I had to shift gears as well.
It's amazing how, you know, and I look at, like, because of the world with like content creation and social media, how many people who have invested in themselves to acquire skills and are, you know, bold enough to share that online, and how they've been rewarded because they're making, like, look at somebody like April Wilkerson, for instance. Here's somebody who was a professional. She worked in government and she was making a good living, like, you know, the kind of living that anybody would dream to have who went to college. She started a little YouTube channel, making little projects and just having a good time with her hobby. Next thing you know, because, you know, who has all the money to you know, fix up your house or whatever? And it turned into, like, literally a massive business. I mean, she's doing 10 times better than she would ever do in a government job.
Yeah.
And she's just done amazing. And that's, I look at that and I think to myself, wow, you know, the world is open. Like, you can do anything at any time. And so, like,
cool.
I was in San Antonio visiting a friend of mine, and he's a huge April Wilkerson fan. So we went up to her shop where she does, it's like a job shop now. So she doesn't even do the work in the job shop. She has like 10 or 12 people working for her,
Wow.
making things like, and not only the people, but she's got a bunch of CNCs and such, making products that get sold in Rockler and other places.
That's
So
cool.
companies literally hire her. And it all started because she started this little channel on YouTube.
That's awesome, man. You know what's cool is I got something queued up. You're talking about the girls doing welding. This is this is a girl who really took to the TIG welding at my school. This is a little bit older now. This is a 2016 video, but she put together like a little portfolio, and because she was fixing some chairs and whatnot, and she did a whole bunch of projects. And she's like so excited to do this, and then she went on to engineering school. And she did this cool thing where she, I call it like a walk-on position. Like, imagine if you're a really good athlete, but you went to the school and then this is her doing SolidWorks and whatnot.
Okay.
And she went to the school and she just walked into the racing program, like the Formula SAE. And she's like, hey, I know how to do SolidWorks and I know how to weld. And they're like, yeah, right. And they didn't believe her. And then she proved it. And then they got her on the team right away. She ended up welding the frame as a freshman, and they got rid of their senior and had him do something else. So
Wow.
she replaced the kid because she spent 3 years just like cutting all her other classes and going to my class.
You go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, and that should be rewarded, right? That shouldn't even be punished. That should be totally, like, you find a kid who's passionate about something, reward. I mean, look at that. That's amazing.
Yeah,
That is
this is a
absolutely
hovercraft,
amazing.
and she's just loving it. You know, she's like having such a good time.
Who wouldn't be having a good time? And nowadays, with the battery powered products that are out, she could have done it with a battery.
Totally.
That's awesome. You know, and that's, like, kids think that the only way to life, because I remember I went to a school, the only path in life, like, I remember we sat down, like, I was in 11th grade and we took the ASVAB. I was like, what the heck are we doing with this? Like, I'm not going in the military. Why am I taking this? And I literally had a guy sit next to me who I'd known since like 8th grade. His name was Jamie Hamilton. He went to MIT on a full scholarship. He was like the star student for our county. He was super smart. He looked at the test. He just set it down and read a book. And I remember thinking, you can't just do that. You can't just set it down. Like, I was the kid who was like, whatever the teacher said, I did it, right? I didn't necessarily do it the way they wanted me to. I didn't do it when they wanted me to, but I did it. He's like, sits down and just starts reading a book on, like, how to compete in chess tournaments or something. You know, I don't know what he was doing. And I'm not kidding. That was his thing. And I just sat there and took the test, and I did test pretty well on it. but like I had no intention of going in the military. And then like, I don't know, I went to college for 3 years after that. And I realized that, you know, I didn't know where I wanted to go with college. I didn't know what degree I wanted in. And the funny thing is they put so much importance on college that you really feel like when you graduate with, say, a degree in communications, that you have to be in the communications industry. Nobody ever says, hey, look, all companies are looking for is that you actually completed something. They don't care if you went to communication school, business school, you know, humanities, whatever. They don't care. Whatever they're you know, teaching you, all you're really learning is that you started something and you completed it. You finished the whole thing. And 4 years of completion something, that's pretty big because, you know, how many people start college and then how many people finish? And the worst part of that is that those people who start and never finish, they've invested sometimes 100, 150,000, and they've got those school loans for life. Those school loans never go away. You can't bankrupt them. You can't get rid of them. If you're working, they will literally attach your earnings until you die to get their money. You know, like it's a forever loan. You don't get rid of it. There's like you can say have a house and maybe you can't make the payments and you file bankruptcy, whatever. They're not gonna keep coming after you for the money, right? Or even credit cards. You can bankrupt those and say, I can't pay them, and they'll erase them. But school loans will be the one thing that after the bankruptcy, you're still paying.
And how did that come about? I'm sure that was some sort of deal. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, you know, somebody said, hey, what? These people don't have the way to repay it, but they need the money to go to school. And here's the most insidious part of that, right? They go to college, and they get these loans, and the loans are for more money than it would have normally cost to go to college. And so each year there's inflation. So what I paid to go to school is relative to inflation, a minuscule amount. So it's probably 20% of what college costs today. And that is 100% because of school loans and lotteries. So the lotteries, like the gambling that is allowed, that's supposed to do like the Hope Grant in my state, and all these things, all they do is inflate the cost of college. College is like, oh, our students now have $6,000 a quarter available to them, or they have $8,000, and now they're going to charge 10 or 12, and then it goes from 10 or 12 to 15. Well, if the public schools are charging 15, the private schools are going to charge 30 or 45 or 50. And you have these kids who are learning absolutely nothing. I mean, I literally went to school 3 years before I went in the Army. Went in the Army 4 years, got out, went another 2 years. So, you know, 5 years of school, got 2 degrees. But, I mean, I never used them. Not once. Like, there's nothing. All I learned was that I can learn. But I'd learned that before I went to college. So there's a lot of time and a lot of money. Like if I had gone to trade school for say 6 months, I'd be out and in a trade making money from the day I left. Take 10 years of my life, because literally I graduated from college in 94. I went to college in 84. So 10 years, four of it I was not in school, but let's say it was just 6 years. Let's say I got out in 90. In 1990, you know, if you had gone to trade school, you were making money from 84 to 90, you'd be way ahead of me. It would take me another 10 years to catch up, maybe longer. It's just people, there's no economic reason to go to college. None.
I got a buddy who's a tree arborist, and when I first met him, you know, he had like one truck, and you know, it was a kind of a used old truck. He just bought a truck that has a robotic crane on it. And so now he can do 3 jobs in one day, and they're all insurance jobs. So they're more expensive and they're emergency work. The truck is $1 million truck.
Wow.
And so, oh yeah. So no more used trucks anymore, but that's how he got there. A lot of hard work, sure. But at the same time, now he has the experience. He shows up at the job, got a remote control. He parks the truck and he plays a video game basically with this robotic arm that tree and takes the tree off the roof safely. It's more safe. It's more safe than if you did it by hand.
It's almost robotic, a robotic type truck.
Yeah. And he bought the truck and changed the, upped the game. He bought another truck. Now he's got 2 of them. It's like, and this is the guy who, he's not doing a college degree thing. But anyway, this has been awesome. It's getting kind of late. I want to end the recording here, but this is like the perfect crowd. We're the right people encouraging each other. It's an all-inclusive thing. We're getting everybody involved. We're talking to people. Stu said that everybody's nasty. Don't talk to each other. No, Stu's like, dude, it's all positivity.
I did not.
No, no. So it's all good, man. I can't wait to meet everybody and meet everybody again as well. Let's wrap it up here and cool. And Nick is back from his fire call.
Did you save any lives, Nick?
There was a tree on wires and I got turned around en route, so I saved the day.
What kind of wires?
Thanks, Nick.
Wires fell?
Yeah, tree on wires. So.
Oh, I thought it would be a cat in the tree, right?
No,
like from
no, we don't do that. We don't have that ability.
Well, we're glad that you're safe, Nick, because the Maker Camp doesn't need a loss. They need your excitement and your safety this weekend.
Amen.
What do I have to do?
And
this
Nick,
weekend?
we need your barbecue.
It's already there. I
Thanks.
dropped it off today. So.
Thanks, buddy.
Well, then we don't really need you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, guys, this has been a blast. It was so much fun hanging out with you tonight for the first time. So thank you.
Stu, thanks for coming by. Awesome. And
Dude, I cannot wait to see everybody here. I absolutely am excited. And those of you that
100%.
will not be there this weekend, you suck.
But we understand why, because there's 26 hours in an airplane between us and you. So that's okay.
Yes, but he could have been the furthest traveled. We have somebody coming from Japan.
Oh, wow.
And Germany. Yeah.
Wait a second. Okay, so Damo, I'm totally giving him a pass. Build.
The
What was that?
rep from Suzanne.
Mark
Sells.
from Mark's busy, man. He's saving the
bet-
world from energy, man. He's got the cheese stud.
I have a real issue, Chad. I realize Stu said I suck, and I totally wear it. So I don't fly, and because I don't fly, it makes going to I think, what are you guys in North Durham? Is that it? Dunham?
Yeah, East Durham. Yeah.
That makes it a trek and a half. But
You could have rode with Justin and
Where are you located?
I'm located in Chicago.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm born and raised 20 minutes outside of the city.
You should contact Bernie. He's driving from Michigan.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Works by Solo.
8
Look
a.m.
him up.
Yeah.
Of course, Nick and Chad and Nick's friends know someone that's driving from Michigan. Seriously?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Justin just a few hours away in Illinois.
Yeah,
Southern.
he's like maybe an hour and a half from Chicago.
So I have my
Seriously,
20th
reach out to
anniversary.
Bernie. He'll probably pick you up.
Nick, I'll text you on Instagram. I do have the 20th anniversary of our Illinois Green Alliance tomorrow. I'm crazy into the green stuff.
Hold up
And
your phone, and while you're traveling, you can do that.
We got it.
You guys are evilly good.
You could probably like with
Nick, I'll send you an Instagram. I'll send you a message after this. I'm sorry I missed your shop, Stu, from earlier. I'm gonna watch this. Ron, I sent you several timestamps.
Yeah.
Several timestamps of Chad's magic messaging, and then I think 5 minutes from now, Ron, I think the article comes out that I wrote about
cool.
the shop class people heading to Catskill.
Oh yeah, Mark hooked us up with a really nice article on what is the website?
Offsitedirt.com. It's a very small website. We're a new media company. I don't have like Chad, you said you have your press pass for FabTech. We don't have official press pass yet. These ladies used to be in the news organizations, and I joined up with them, and so we just did this article. I got another.
So
one
hey, off the
coming out.
air, contact me and I'll get you hooked up for a press pass for FabTech.
We're still recording. So
It's okay.
I have another article coming out about Bloomquist. I don't know if you announced it.
Oh my God!
He won $50,000 for his students' program through Harbor Freight.
I think I got that email.
His program's so cool. Basically, he did the shop class, but it's on an actual site. So like they buy a piece of land, the kids are bussed over there from the school. They have like a 3-hour class, two a day, and they build a house once a year. No in the building, nothing like that. They actually go to the site, dig the dirt, put the foundation, and everything's super green. Like they're doing like energy efficient. They test it. They do performance houses. It's cool. And
during COVID, I was sitting with Matt at the house, like right where he's standing now, and 12 students come off of a short bus. They change their clothes, right, because they want to look good when they come back into school. They change their clothes, put their belts on, and are ready to work in 3 minutes. I can't get grown men to get out of their truck, get off their phones, and be on a job site, let alone be changed. It is a spectacle unlike none other, the way it's put out. And so I'm glad you sent the picture at this thing right here of that giant check, because I wanted to ask Nick if he can make a giant pen. So when all these Harbor Freight people get these awards, if you could turn it on the lathe, have a giant pen to give them too, put the Duresta stamp on it or whatever. But like, it'd be really funny to have a giant pen. I've seen giant pencils. I've seen giant carpenter pencils. I've never seen a giant pen. It doesn't have to work, but it has to emulate.
It's funny. That's cool. And then, I'll give a shout out to Mark here. He's got something called, he represents the T-stud, which is like an energy thermal break in a stud. It's kind of an interesting thing. And so he's kind of helped, that teacher, Matt, with energy efficiency.
Yep.
So it's pretty cool. A lot going on here. Lots of connections on the podcast. This is the best. This is the place to hang out and meet all the people.
Did you ask Stu and Chad if they had shop class? Did you ask them the question?
Oh, I didn't ask the number one question.
Duke, you mean to tell me he's Google mapping where these guys hide their cougar ants, but we don't know if they had shop class? Come on.
We're pretty much just pre-gaming.
Yeah.
Pre-gaming the maker camp. So it wasn't like a specific.
Not like a test.
You're on
the usually no, it's not a test. It's just, I mean, I didn't have shop class growing up, which is ironic that that we do this podcast. But the idea is that if you're the focus guest, we ask you 2 major questions. The first question is, which I always get so excited and I forget, and Duke reminds me, is, did you have shop class growing up? And then that usually leads to a huge story. And then we go from there and I say, okay, well, how did you get from there to where you are now? And that goes another hour. And then usually there might be like a third follow-up with, what do you recommend for the shop teachers? And that's our episodes. 3.
So what we could do is we could have both of you guys back and ask that question. Like, this is the cliffhanger moment.
I'm prepared to answer the question.
Yeah.
Well, and at this point, the recording is so long, nobody heard it. So. Yeah,
We,
that's fine.
we should probably end the recording and save the question for.
Yeah,
like, a
Chad, there's
focus
so
episode.
many good
Let's do
timestamp things from tonight. This is the cliffhanger moment. Tune
Yeah.
in next time.
Tune in next time when Chad tells us about his shop class. All right, I'm going to end the recording here.
We'll
This
call
is
it the
good.
battle between Stu and Chad. Who has the better shop class answer? Stay tuned, folks.
Boom. That's it. Shop class out.